Hey y'all, I'm Carolina Tony. Thank you for stopping by my channel. We are here again in Cheraw, South Carolina, and we are going to tour 3rd Street. It's a beautiful tree-lined street with some awesome historic homes. And I'm going to take you on a tour and tell you a little bit about those homes. But right after this station identification. This is First Presbyterian Church as it is today. In the 1800s, this is what it looked like. This church is over 175 years old. During Sherman's occupation here in Cheraw, where he spent 3 days visiting with us, they say that they removed the pews from the inside of the church so that some of the Union Army could have some dances in here, and they used the pulpit for a bandstand. This house was built in 1827.
1827 or 1832. I can't remember what.
Okay, so somewhere between 1827 and 1832. But this was the original manse for the Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, original. Yep.
This house is known as the John Inglis House. It was built about 25 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It's known as a Charleston box style house. John Inglis was the chairman over the board that drafted the secession. Later on, this wing was added with a breezeway to accommodate a doctor's office. This house is known as the Teacherage. It's perhaps the oldest house in the town, built somewhere in the late 1700s. Teacherage got its name because this was used to house teachers that taught children here in town. There is a lot of history and a lot of information that I could give you, but I'm kind of condensing it down. You see, this house has a picket fence around it, as well as the house across the street. At one time, a lot of the houses in town had picket fences around it to keep the chickens and the livestock in. But they say that during Sherman's stay with us, that the picket fences got gone real quick because his men used them for firewood. The Teacherage at the time was owned by the Malloy family. In the 1860s, he had 6 sons that went off to war, and in memorial for them, he planted 6 magnolia trees, and they are still here and still standing. All 6 sons returned from home, but one later died from injuries. This home is known as the Lafayette House. It was built around 1820, but it gets its name from an event that happened in 1825 when French General Lafayette visited our town. They had a grand reception for him here in this home. It's a beautiful home. There's a legend, and mind you, it's just a legend. A lot of folks here in town have heard it over the years that at one time there was a secret tunnel in the basement of this house that led from the basement of this house to the river. And I've been in the basement and I've talked to the owners, and of course they deny that. So perhaps it is just a legend. This house at 321 3rd Street has been in the long McKeever-Malloy families since around 1820. In the 1940s, it was moved back further from the street using one mule. As you can see, to the side and rear of the house, this was the detached kitchen. In those days when this house was built, it was very dangerous to have a kitchen connected to the house because of cooking on an open fire. So they would be separated from the house. Around 1919, when cotton was the king here in Cheraw, this house was built for the Duvall family. He was a big cotton broker here in town. This house at 412 3rd Street dates back to 1856. They say it's unusual for this street because it has a two-story porch, which on this street there are no other two-story porches. This house as well had a detached kitchen at one time. As you can see, it's been hooked back to the house, as well as the back porch has been enclosed. This house at 401 3rd Street belongs to a friend of mine. Was built around 1820. Pretty much looks exactly the way it looked when it was built. Something that I think is pretty neat that I'll share with you is up under the porch is painted blue, and in Charleston they call that paint blue, but it's actually painted because the color is not attractive to insect. The porch continued around, and back in the back again was a detached kitchen, which now is a part of the entrance into the house. This is the First United Methodist Church. The church itself was organized in 1822, established in 1832, but this church building itself was built in 1851. Over the years it has been enlarged, but this is the main part of the original church. Well, that is going to do it for our tour of 3rd Street in downtown Cheraw, South Carolina. There sure are some beautiful homes and buildings here. This is a great time of year with the azaleas blooming and all the birds singing and the flowers and all. It's just awesome. I wish you could be here with me, but the video will have to do for now. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a big old thumbs up. If you hadn't subscribed yet, be sure to go ahead and subscribe now and click that bell so you'll be notified every time we put a video out. Again, thank you for stopping by, and as always, y'all have a good day.